Hi Pisces, welcome to June. This is eclipse season. I'd like to begin with a quote, and I'm not going to pronounce the name of the person who said it because I would do it a terrible injustice, so I'm going to link it in the comments. But it goes as follows. Never measure the height of a mountain until you've reached the top. Then you'll know how low it is. We begin June on the 5th of June. Well, we don't begin June on the 5th of June, but we begin this particular horoscope with the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. It's partial, but it is of course hitting your 10th house of your career, your reputation, the way that you're seen in this world. And for you, it is such a big part of who you are. You have this psychic osmosis with the world where you can always feel the pain of others, you can always feel the joy of others, you can so easily transmute energy. And oftentimes then the way that you are seen in the world can be like a mirror for some people. It can be a reflection, but it doesn't deduct from who you are and what you can offer. The lunar eclipse is of course occurring in a side of the sky where you have to let something go. That's the purpose of a lunar eclipse. It's this celestial checkpoint to see what's working and what's not. And it's a lot to do with closing a door and of course opening one. So to begin the month with a 10th house eclipse that is squaring Mars in your sign can make you feel very confused, very unable to act, very unable to move. But it is moving nonetheless. It is clearing a pathway. For a lot of time now, your career has possibly been expired for you. It's not felt to be what you wanted it to be, what you wanted to do. For those of you that are happy in your career, it's quite simply that you're ending out a cycle of one way of doing things, of one particular area. It is a time to release what isn't working. So what is working is fine. It's just where you feel like there's a disconnect, a discord, or you have to break ties, or you have to do things a different way. It's okay to accept that. Being an emotional sign, being quite intuitive, you can sense when other people are disappointed. You can sense when other people are uncertain. You can sense when other people are worried. But you should not let those type of things cloud your judgment. You should not let those type of things worry you when you know intuitively, as you always know intuitively, what you're doing. That's why it's so important at the beginning of the month to create some space for yourself whereby you can really get in tune with what your heart is telling you, what your emotions are telling you, particularly in a business sense. Your ruler Neptune is going to go retrograde at the end of the month, which is actually a good thing. It's going to give you a bit more clarity, particularly on who you are, which is what I think you need. The midheaven, the 10th house, is a lot to do with the way we're seen by the world and how we want to be respected and how we want to be viewed. And with Mars in your sign, particularly with its connection with Neptune, your ability to make your dreams a reality is very close in June, if not imminent. The Empress. The abundance, the joyous, the knowing one's own worth, knowing one's own divinity, knowing one's purpose is simply to be. That you're enough as you are, and that you have the creative potential, the creative talent, the wherewithal to make this abundance a reality, whatever it means to you, whether it is financial, whether it is creative, whether it is respect, whether it is the birthing of a new project, a new venture, a new career, maybe a literal birth, maybe a conception, maybe a child, maybe coming full circle with something in your family. But it's beautiful energy. Venus will go direct this month as well in Neptune, which rules your family. So your family dynamics, in Gemini, which rules your family, I think I said Neptune, in Gemini, which rules your family dynamics will get a lot better. They'll be a lot more clear. Your housing situation, where there's a bit of fog, a bit of uncertainty there, will be much more clear. Where you belong will be much more clear. Whew. The solar eclipse, by contrast, is occurring in your romantic life, your creativity, your passions, your fun, your co-creation, your excitement, your joy, your heart. And the eclipse there can do one of two things. It can bring some element of the past back. It can bring back an opportunity. It can bring back a relationship. It can bring back something nostalgic, something that feels like it never left. It can also bring with it, though that may itself be unexpected, it can bring around unexpected new change where you can be more creative, where you can be more yourself, where you can be more authentically you in your creativity, in your purpose. To have two eclipses, one being in your career and one being in your sector of creativity, for a Pisces makes a lot of sense, don't you think? Because you're creative people, you're healing people. For those of you in the medical profession, you would regard, for example, healing as a type of creativity. Creating a healing energy, creating a new way of being. It's always creative with a Pisces, no matter what you're doing. Even if it's in accountancy, even if it's in law, it's always creative. The eclipse energy is interesting because without these eclipses, you may be very well coasting. You may have very well decided to coast along on whatever it was doing at the expense of your intuition. And the energies for this eclipse are all beginning internally for you in June, probably in May. They've all begun internally. You know that it's time to cut some area of your life out, just simply let it be, let it go. Because you know it's not part of your destiny anymore. And you're not alone, Pisces. It is for everybody that we are feeling that way. That certain things just can no longer be ignored. Judgment. Certain things can no longer be swept under the rug. Certain things can no longer be left unattended. Judgment is in many ways a resurrection of past energies, but it's also a clearance. Judgment Day is about seeing whom or what is fit for the next cycle, the next chapter, the afterlife. Not literally. Judgment is all about making these big decisions. And you know what you're making them for? Yourself, your creativity, your love life, your divineness, your beauty. Having a bit of a wake-up call on what you can and can't do. And what you cannot do is deny yourself what you deserve. What you can do is go after it. Mars goes into Aries from your sign on the 27th, bringing about it a desire to go after that abundance. Now it's going to retrograde. It's going to be an extended stay in Aries in your financial sector. That's okay. That is whereby you revisit ways of dealing with abundance, with ways you create abundance, with the attitudes you have towards money, the attitudes you have towards creating a life that you deserve, what you would like to be surrounded by. And of course, as a very emotional and spiritual sign, the conversations about money, the conversations about your work can oftentimes feel like they're not your forte. The sky would like you to see that you can make anything your forte that you want to, Pisces. You can learn more about your money. You can learn more about work. Whatever it is that you want to put your heart into, your soul into, you can make it happen. Now, that's not to say that you should go down a particular path purely for money, or you should go down a particular path purely for the way it looks because you think it would make you look more successful. You will be successful when you follow your passions. And be it that for now you're in a job where you don't feel like you can do that, but you're pursuing your passions outwardly on the outside, it's all the same thing. You just have to make sure that you're accessing that side of yourself. And for where you are starting over, for where you're not sure what you want to do in terms of your career or how you express yourself, remember the mountain. Just keep going, and then you'll realize that it wasn't as big as you thought it would be. It wasn't as high up as you thought it would be. Let's not forget that Jupiter, although retrograding, Jupiter this year is in your 11th house of wishes, of manifestations. You can call on that energy anytime you want. It is conjunct Pluto on the 30th. By the end of June, it's very likely that some wish is going to be revisited, some wish, some way of doing things. Page of Wands, your creativity, your friendships, your work is all resounding this positive energy, this Page of Wands energy, whereby you know you're not an expert, but you're willing to go forward anyway. Or you know that there's more to know, more to understand, more to do, but you're going to put the faith in. For many of you, you have some very interesting stuff going on with a fire sign. Some very interesting stuff going on with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Probably kind of life changing stuff. Be it having a baby, be it getting married, be it calling it a day, anything. There's a lot of big changes going on there with fire signs. I think it's positive though. I think it's also a lot to do, for those of you that aren't dealing with a fire sign, or you still are, it's a lot to do with your work, your business. Calling in somebody that can handle the financial side of things. So let's talk more about the solar new moon eclipse, beg pardon, in Cancer. That very romantic energy, that very creative, that new beginning, that unexpected change, all occurring around the time Jupiter is conjunct Pluto in your 11th house of wishes. I would like to emphasize that so that you hear it again. Your 11th house of wishes, of connections. People can really help you out this month. Really help you out this month. 10 of Pentacles. For those of you that are worried about money, you're onto something big here. Or you've cleared the path for something bigger. 10 of Pentacles and the Empress in one reading. Huh. There's a bit of magic going on there. The Empress, Judgment, Page of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. Mars in Aries. The excitement. Ooh. King of Pentacles. I don't know what you do by the end of June, but you're doing it well as far as money goes, as far as abundance goes, as far as creativity goes, manifesting lump sums of money, big sums of money. Perhaps it's because you've opened up an energy where you're following your intuition, your bliss, your creativity. If it's commitment that you seek and you're dealing with a fire sign or an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, it seems to be pretty big. Seems to be pretty stable. Seems to be a big deal. Big changes. This is a lot of cards. We'll roll with it. Page of Pentacles, King of Cups, Two of Swords, Nine of Swords, Three of Pentacles. No matter how good the opportunities are that present themselves, no matter how much you know in your soul that there is something bigger going on here, no matter the unexpected opportunities, you still feel a little bit hesitant about going with your gut, going with your intuition, trusting your own judgment rather than those around you. Taurus people will want to give you advice at every turn. They're not necessarily right. They're not necessarily wrong, but they're not necessarily right. They are going with what they know, and what they know is their tried and tested method of maintaining the same thing because it's safe to them. Pisces don't live like that. Pisces are fluid. You're able to go anywhere and fit in. Your Taurus companions, your earth sign companions, will want to advise you, particularly in your work, particularly in your money, particularly in your relationships, particularly in everything. They'll want to advise you, and I'm telling you that you would be better going with your own intuition because you know better. You're indecisive about venturing out on your own. You're insecure about venturing out on your own. You're insecure about what you're doing in many ways, but you also know intuitively that it's what you need to do. Now, you have built yourself a bit of resistance in terms of how you make that happen. And when things start to happen, and things start to progress, and things start to change for you, and you see evidence of that new job, that new relationship working out, that new opportunity, you get a bit scared because you're starting out, because you're making something different, because you feel like you're starting out all over again. So that makes you a little bit indecisive, and you want to rely on other people's advice because you know that if you take it and it goes wrong, you won't be responsible. But if you just listen to yourself, Pisces, and accepted that in starting over, you can actually use all the expertise, all the knowledge, all the wisdom that you already have from your past failures, and I'm talking about this in terms of love, I'm talking about this in terms of work, you can make something big. We look at these other cards, right? 10 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, big financial ventures. And I know that the earth signs in your life always seem to have this ability to make big things happen, and you feel like they're secure, and you feel like there's a lot of things from them that you want. And yes, they look very successful. You too are very successful. You're just very unsure. You should not be unsure. This King of Pentacles can also be you. 10 of Pentacles. This is your reading. This is your money. This is your energy. This is your commitments. This is your stability. Your marriage, your relationship, whatever it is. It's all yours. You have to get out of your own way, though. You have to get out of your own way and let this new change usher in, because the solar new moon eclipse in Cancer, the unexpected opportunities, are very, very important. And with Mercury retrograde, of course, in your creative and romantic sector, you have a lot of time to revisit these, and that's where you get your anxiety from, that's where you get your uncertainty from. Maybe it's a water sign from the past, maybe it's an earth sign from the past, maybe it's a fire sign from the past. All adding a little bit of confusion and perhaps showing you where you lost a lot of confidence in your own intuition because you didn't listen to it then. And you worry that in terms of the more material things, you maybe worry in terms of the commitments that you're gonna get it wrong again, particularly if it was to do with an air sign. You don't need to rush anything. You don't need to make any hasty decisions. The offer will come in. And you'll be very happy about it. 10 of Cups. Hanged Man, 4 of Wands. Just wait for it. By the end of the month, you will see the pleasant surprises, you will see the pleasant changes, you will see the pleasant energies in your family, in your home, in your bank account, whatever it is that you're hoping to see these positive changes. Sorry, Pisces, I got cut off. Do you know why I got cut off? My storage was full. Had to release some storage, had to release some baggage. Very appropriate. As soon as you get in flow with yourself, as soon as you get in flow with your creativity, in enjoying yourself, in dancing with life, the things that you need come in very quickly. It's all about freeing up your energy this month, really. There's a lot of good stuff wants to get to you. It's very much the law of attraction, that whenever you let stuff go, that I may already have said this could be me repeating myself, but whenever you let things go and you surrender, oftentimes the good stuff starts coming in for you. You know, as soon as you let go of the need to make certain things happen in a certain time frame, that's when they happen for you. And to be honest, Pisces, a lot of the struggle that you feel at some parts of June are of course mental. They're blockages. They're where you refuse to see another perspective, or they're where you refuse to see a way out. It is all about allowing the energies to come in. And of course, by the end of this month, you will see whenever things start working out the way that you want them to. And we invite in the new energies of the solar new moon eclipse. You start to see how low the mountain actually was. Join me in the extended, it's linked below, and if not, Pisces, I will see you in July. Have a really wonderful month.